I love ya. Great Wednesday, Grand Rising Wednesday. This is the power of you. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today as I try to put this necklace on. And today I am so excited to give you an opportunity to be engaged as to why and how, what is the secret and what was the magic of me writing the book, The Living Shrine. So excited that today we get to speak as to why. Because people have asked me, well, how did you do that? Why? How come? How long did it take you? And in the book signing in New York, I don't think this is going to stay. The book signing in New York, I gave explanations, but if y'all weren't there, you didn't hear the explanation. This is the book, The Living Shrine. It's here. Yes, so I am so happy and blessed to be here today speaking about why is it that it took me 16 years of research and 1 year to finally put it together. So it took 17 years. That's like the old news, right? And so today we're going to be talking about the power of you. You are the power to manifest everything that you want in your life. You are the power that the Creator sent on earth to do its job in a physical form. The power of you is the same power that we have, the same aspects, but not in the same degree of performing miracles, of being a miracle. And so the power of you, today we're speaking about why and how is it that I decided to write the book, or the book decided to write me. So the topic today is you can't conquer what you don't confront. You cannot conquer what you don't confront. So if you're looking as to why situations are happening for you and to you, and it's filled with some misgivings and some different feelings, that's what we're speaking about today. So I love you, everyone. I see Nicole and Savoy are on, and I see Healing Spaces, and can't see down there because I have two different things that I'm working on. So y'all know you're here. So you can't conquer what you don't confront. And so that's what we're covering today. Why it took me that long to write the book. In our life, sometimes we run from fear, running from the past, running from insecurities and things that we sometimes have to do and confess and ultimately conquer. And so the fear that I had of knowing and being transparent with people is the same fear that many of us have, because we're human beings. We're having a human experience. And so when we count on our ancestors, Orisha, God, Spirit, you will be given the grace of God. And so the grace of God is that place where you get the juice, you get the reward of not trying harder, but of receiving God's abundance directly for you. Of receiving God's abundance directly to you. And so when you receive that kind of grace, it's because you've earned the right to have it. And that was the one thing that I had to face in some of the things that were in my head. I know that I had to be bold if I wanted to fulfill my destiny, if I wanted to be free. I think that went off. Sorry. It's going back on. Well, it'll catch up wherever, because it's on here anyway. It's on Instagram. Instagram is acting there. Much better. Somebody called me. But anyway, so back. So I knew that I had to be bold if I wanted to really live my destiny completely, honestly, transparently of who I was, because people see me and know me, and some don't know me. And those that are close to me know the light that I have. Sometimes the light is blinding. Sometimes the light too much for you. Sometimes the light is not enough. Whatever, whoever, knowing that my life is one of those things that has to be transparency, because who I am and who I'm supposed to be. And sometimes, as a human being, we make mistakes. I know I've made some giant mistakes in my life. So I wanted to be free. And so those things that I did for myself and with myself, I share in the book. And it took me a while, because every time that I tried to write one aspect of it, I was like, no, I can't show that. But at the end of the day, I knew that's not what I wanted. I wanted total transparency. I wanted total uh, people. I think I owed it to my audience, and I owe it to my students to know that whatever they're going through, they can find clarity through the use and through the energy of Orisha. So I keep, and as I said, you cannot conquer what you don't confront. I couldn't keep running from the things that was hard, uncomfortable, that required me to be humble, to humble myself, to apologize to people, to ask for forgiveness from others and forgiveness for myself, and to really know the truth about who I am and who I was becoming and who I am still becoming. So I couldn't take the easy way out. So in the world that you are doing, you're transforming yourself into this highest vibration of yourself. You can't take the easy way out. You got to go for the hard stuff. You got to go in and use the stuff that's going to make sure that you are able to get God's grace, because God will give you the grace once you've done the work. The reward is here. This is yours. You've passed the test. And it's not that God is holding you accountable, like saying, "Oh, if you don't do this, you won't get it." That's just the method. Is that once you do what is the requirement of whatever the situation is, the other side of it, be it forgiveness, be it apology, be it whatever it is that brings you to the place of peace, you got to man up. You cannot do it, with doubt. So 16 years, I would be working, and then I stop, and then something would happen and shift my perspective of what was important. So we can't take the easy way out or run away from purpose, because if you run away from your purpose, that destiny, you will not know what it is. So running from people who have hurt you, from your own pride, and the lies that we sometimes tell ourselves to cover shame, anger, inability to forgive, all of those things, we can keep running and running and running. And so in doing so, acknowledging that if you are a priest or you are walking a road, you are the personality of your Orisha. I was just having a class the other day that the next class, the priest class, is going to be about the persona or the personality of your Orisha. If you are a child of, say, for instance, Obatala, because I know there's an Obatala on there. If you're the child of Obatala, your process is always going to be slow down. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to run. Because at the end of the day, that Orisha knows everything. It created everything, and it's holding you accountable. If you're the child of Oshun, you're going to be emotional. That's her ashe. But make sure that you check your emotions, and everything, every relationship is not viewed through the eyes of your emotions, but get the facts. If you're Yemonja, same thing. If you are the child of Yemonja, you are always going to be in a position where you want to overdo, because you know that you have everything. Yemonja, the Orisha of Yemonja, has everything. She owns the sky and the river and the ocean. So you want to do and do and do, because you know that there's no bottomless pit for mother. If you're Shango, you want to make sure that everyone has the vibrancy that you have. Everyone has the vibrancy. So sometimes it comes on a little bit more because the vibrancy that you have is ready to share with the world. So each one of us has that aspect of ourselves. And so when we see ourselves as God, as how God sees us, we are a perfect creation on this earth that encourages, empowers, and help others find joy, peace, and the happiness that we all deserve. So in my notes, I wanted to make sure that I stayed consistent with the process of the being with the topic, because sometimes I can go all over there because spirit be like, tell them that, say this. I don't know why I'm saying it, but I'm saying it. But I think it's very important for you to know that the book here, The Living Shrine, and I thank each and every one of you that bought the book. Tomorrow, on the 21st, you are able to get a signed copy from my website. So on the 21st, on the day of the solstice, we are going to then launch it with my signature, so you can get your signed copy. If you get it on Amazon, it will not have my signature, but if you get it on it's a little bit more because of the shipping and that, but you will have a copy of, and give one to your friends. I think this is a great little book. From what I've been getting the feedback, it's something that is easy to read. You can carry it with you, and if you need that little morning shot in the arm for encouragement, you can do that. I'm so grateful. It is a place where I share my story, and in the story, I'm not at all saying that I'm a victim, but I've been through some things to share with you that if you're in this path, then you can find some juice to give you some courage and some energy when you're feeling that you're doing this alone, or that you need to know, wow, somebody else went through that. And what are they doing today? Yes, still standing, still doing the work. So see ourselves the way that God sees us, in perfect creation, that we are sent on earth to encourage, to empower, and to help others find joy, peace. When I say find joy and peace, it's not been easy. And if you're the child of Obatala, you got to have that kind of harsh reality, because if you are the creator, then you're the first thing that has to be in place is your sense of patience and character. I still struggle with my patience. I want everything last Friday or tomorrow or quicker. So each one of us are going through our own path. My intention and hope is that you will find your story, an evolution of yourself, and that you will write your own story. Please write our stories. In my writing this story, I unveiled and I opened up to ways and places in my heart that I had to be so very totally transparent, that in that transparency, it helped me. It helped me with my children. It helped me with my grandchildren. It helped me with my students. It helped me with students who are no longer with me. It helped me with all of that. And students that are now coming, it has helped me to look at my life in a different way, taking responsibility, but knowing that, hey, even your imperfections are perfect for that moment. And you're constantly evolving into the higher expression of your divine. So look, for example, Maorisha Oshaginya, Obatala. Obatala Oshaginya, one of the expressions of Obatala. When he was young and he was a warrior, he was very popular. Everybody knew him and everybody loved him because he was able to conquer different lands and be a success to his community. So everyone sought him, and he was very, very dependable. And so in one of his, as he was getting older, he got weaker. Right? So as we get older, we have to learn how to be the same person, but shift. How is it that we're doing things? And the one thing that gives you that is experience. So if you were to evolve to be this being that later becomes a shrine or a god or an orisha, then you got to have some challenges, because that's the way you evolve. We don't have a culture where you sit with a book. This is a culture that you have to be sitting there with your elder, learning and pushing through and having encouragement and them sharing their stories, so that when you are an elder, you will know yourself and you can share it and have value. And so Oshaginya, to go on to the story, Oshaginya was very, very much the warrior, and everybody was depending on him. But as he got older, you know, he lost one of the very important wars and he got captured, and by the time he was relieved, he was very embarrassed because he was known as Oshagiyan. This Orisha is called the Orisha of pounded yam. And that the way that you get to him is to know that the yam, the way that you can cook a yam and eat it just like that, but he prefers it when it's smooth. Get all of the lumps out, and you're using that mortar and that pestle through patience. And that's the way that Oshagiya's children will find it, is through patience. But in the patience, while you're pounding that yam and smoothing it out, there are people hollering, yelling, there's rain falling, fires going on. All of that is distracting you, but Oshagiya says, I must stay to my task. And so as he got older, he got embarrassed because people started laughing at him. And so he became very depressed and very sad. And so people started to browbeat him and say, oh, you're not nothing. I don't remember. Well, for the younger generation, they didn't even remember. And so out of shame and rage, he was so ashamed and he got very angry. He decided to leave the earth, to leave Aye, and to then what he did, he said that he was done because he had no use. So he tapped his foot 3 times on the earth. And through that opening that he created, a crater, he became an Orisha. And so all of the things that he was doing in the past, that everybody loved him, as he got older, he didn't have enough people to qualify that he was that leader in that. So he had to change the way of doing it. So he said, y'all can have me, and the worth that I have is I'm going to transform now to Orisha. And so that's how Oshagiyan the Obatala that I have worshiped Mofere from Baba is to become an Orisha. And so when he entered the ground and became an Orisha, he was known to be worshipped for his ability to make strong medicine, to have deep insight and counseling, and his ability to foretell the future and do magical ebo. And so when you are a priest and you have, who your shrine or your head Orisha, what particular road, what type of, then you know the hardship that you're going through is part of your process. So remember that in the things that you're doing, include who you are and whose you are and why is this happening for me. So today I just wanted to speak to that. Why is it that it took me that long for total transparency and coming to write this? Because there are a lot of things that as you read the book and as you share it with your family, it will open up some conversations among families about things that are never talked about that exist in families. And hopefully it will be a place of healing for us, because each one of us that heals, we will heal the world. So today is Oseo Batala, and I opened the book on the introduction is a song that says Ogege Igi Agunla, Ogege Igi Agunla, Obatala, Gungegeo, Igi Oro, Lomanguo. And so I'm going to sing that chant for you today, and I want you to know that it means we are climbing the tree of wisdom. We are climbing the tree of wisdom. Obatala, climb the tree of wisdom. I climb the tree of wisdom. So as we chant this to Obatala today, I hope that you find yourself in a place where you know that no matter what you are running from, you're going to have to face it. That's the only way that you're going to do something different about it. And that every day is an opportunity for you to look back and thank everything and everyone that you've been through, and recover from your anger and your embarrassment and the shame and the guilt and all of the things of feeling and holding other people accountable as your enemy and that they're stronger than you. You got to come past that. This past 2 years have brought me to a place of really, really looking and knowing and appreciating my life. And so the grace was that the book has been so nicely received. That's the grace of God that says, you did that, let me give you the blessing. Let me give you the reward. So if I can do it and come out of insecurity, fear, abuse, molestation, polygamy, persona non grata, that sounds like Oshagiyan's story, right? Where when you're young, you're doing all of that, and when you get older, people are not even remembering what you did. So that's why I had to write the story, to set the record straight. So as we sing Ogege, climbing, see yourself climbing Obatala's mountain, the tree of wisdom. I want you to visualize a tree on the top of a mountain. That mountain on there has white fruit, and each one of those fruit represent God's grace. So you're going up to pick that from the tree, and the grace is wisdom. You're attaining the wisdom. So I want you to just take a minute, and you're going to breathe 3 times, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in through your nostrils and let it out through your nostrils. Breathing in. Breathing out. One last time. Breathing in through your nostrils, letting out through your nostrils. Breathing in. Hold it and let it out. Ashe. Ashe. And visualize yourself with a white light over your head, and on the bottom of 2 feet under under the ground where you're sitting or standing, and 2 feet above your head, and you see yourself going up to the tree of wisdom, and it's on a mountaintop. Baba mio batala. Epa orisha mio. Epa Piminike Olódùmarè Ọbàtálá. Alágẹmọ ó ṣẹ̀júṣẹ́ mú. Ọbàtálá ó epa bàbá. Ó sún nínú tálá bàbá mi Ọbàtálá. Ó jí nínú tálá. Epa òrìṣà bàbá mi Ọbàtálá. Ogege igi agunla. Ogege igi agunla. Ọbàtálá gúgege o, igi oro ló máa gún o. Ogege igi agunla. Ogege igi agunla. Ọbàtálá gúgege o, igi oro ló máa gún o. Ogege igi agunla. Ogege igi agunla. Ọbàtálá gúgege o, igi oro ló máa gún o. Ogege igi agunla. Ogege igi agunla. Ọbàtálá gúgege o, igi oro ló máa gún o. Ogege igi agunla. Ogege igi agunla. Ọbàtálá gúgege o, igi oro ló máa gún o. Ogege igi agunla. Ogege igi agunla. Ọbàtálá gúgege o, igi oro ló máa gún o. Ogege igi agunla. Epa òrìṣà. Ogege igi agunla. Ọbàtálá gúgege o, igi oro lo maguo, ogege igi agula. Ogege igi agula, Ọbàtálá gúngègé o, igi oro ló maguo, ogege igi agula. Ogege igi agula, Ọbàtálá gúngègé o, igi oro ló maguo, ogege igi agula. Epa orisha, orisha, epa, ogege igi agula, Ọbàtálá gúngègé o, igi oro ló maguo, ogege igi agula. Epa orisha. Ogege igi agula, Ọbàtálá gúngègé o, igi oro ló maguo, ogege oṣàgìyàn igunla. Epa orisha. Ogege oṣàgìyàn bàbá mi o, Ọbàtálá gúngègé o, igi oro ló maguo, ogege igi agula. Ogege igi agula, Ọbàtálá gúngègé o, igi oro ló maguo. Visualize yourself picking from the tree of wisdom, that you will know exactly what to do for everything that's happening to your life today. Sometimes you have to do the thing that's difficult. Sometimes you got to come out of your comfort zone. You have to be bold and courageous, and then you will receive God's grace. Modupwe, modupwe, modupwe. So remember, on the 21st, which is the summer solstice, it will be available, book signed from Yeyefini. Just go to yeyefini.com. Also on the 21st, usually I do something for the summer solstice, but I'm so happy that we actually have something that I am inviting you to. I'm going to be speaking at the Grand Rising Summer Solstice. This is their 11th year. I think there's their 4th year. And so I will be speaking. The name of the webinar is Be the Medicine, honoring the power of the solstice, community healing and ritual. If you go on my Instagram and my Facebook page, it's on there, all of the information, how to register. And I think it tells you what time I'm going to be one of the speakers. So thank you so much for coming to this, as well as don't forget that the Self-Love Holiday Retreat with Oyabumi is July the 12th to the 14th, and I will be there honoring Ibuaye. Yes. The Self-Love Holiday, this is Oyabumi's, I think it's like 8 years now that she's been doing this, and this year you can, I don't know if she still have spots to be in place, because there was a number of people that are staying in one particular place, but they have also, you have a daily pass that you can come to. You can have it for all 3 days, and you don't stay in the resort. So you want to go and look at Oyabumi de Rosario, and is the Self-Love Holiday, and it's in South Florida, July the 12th to the 14th. on the beach. The place is fabulous where you'll be staying. The food and everything. I've been to each one of them, as she said. So I invite you to do what is necessary and what's required to man up, to woman up, to show up for yourself and write your book. Tell your story. We all have a story that's powerful, meaningful, and that can change your life. You all have a wonderful day. And thank you again for joining and reminding yourself that the power of God is in you. The power of you is to come and create a place, a legacy for others, your family, yourself, but also for others. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Modupwe. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you hopefully next Wednesday. Remember, get out there and get that book. And I'm coming to different cities. We're working on that right now with book signings and lectures. Ashe. Y'all have a beautiful day. And if you're interested in having me at your libraries or your communities, send me an email. So I will see you all on next Wednesday. Odabo, y'all have a blessed day. Go back to work or whatever it is that you were doing on Wednesday, 12 o'clock.